Hey guys, Martinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we've just had a news update come out on JP about the upcoming Dokkan Fest that will be coming to JP after the Golden Week celebration officially comes to a close. Obviously on Global we are expecting to see an update anytime in the next day or so. I guess since JP got this one today and Global didn't get one, there's the potential that Global will get one tomorrow. Obviously that will be for the STR 17s that fuse into Super 17. So people have been speculating about what this could be. In fact, we had a good conversation yesterday on the stream that I was doing where we were talking about the potential for a new baby. Obviously a lot of people were hoping for a good Extreme unit because Dokkan has kind of been fumbling Extreme for a few releases now, so be interesting to see what this guy does. But it looks like we are getting another TURLES, so it's quite interesting because I actually have been up for a new TURLES. I think I mentioned this even before because he's a decent unit in terms of a pick for Extreme because of his link set. Obviously some of the options that we could get as part of his celebration for like easy A's and stuff like that. I'll be interested to see what they do for his animations, because with the LR TURLES having, he has two very good super attack animations, so I'm interested to see kind of what's left, I guess, for this guy, right? Because I would assume that he's going to have a super attack and then potentially an active skill. Like maybe he has a standby or a revive, maybe he has an intro. So obviously Dokkan has, you know, we've started down that path of redoing some animations that have already been done in the game, but in much better quality. So it says overwhelming power strengthened by the fruit of the divine spirit tree, because this is just Google Translate, right? So the fruit of the tree of might. Challenge a super decisive battle with the ruthless crusher. Please look forward to the new stage. Wandering space destroyer will be temporarily unplayable. So obviously it just means it's going to be a new stage to the existing TURLES Dokkan event, right? So I'm actually quite hyped for this, to be honest. I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy does. If we take a look at, so this is AGL TURLES, right? This is the last Dokkan Fest TURLES that we got. So taking a look at TURLES and his potential, you know, what teams is he going to lead? Who's he going to buff? He is on teams like, I mean, Low Class Warrior is a good team. Unfortunately, well, I say a good team, has some good options now, right? Because we've got like the new World Tournament Goku's on there, you know, Path to Power Kid Goku's on there, Tech Bardock's on there. Unfortunately, TURLES isn't on storied figures, so he's not on Bardock's 200% team. But movie bosses, obviously a team that hasn't had buffs for quite some time. You know, LR Cooler trying to carry the whole Extreme side of the game on his back still, so having buffs for him would be good. Pure Saiyans, obviously, still one of the strongest teams because of just all the Gokus, Vegeta, Bardock, etc. Terrifying Conquerors, again, one of the bigger spread of teams. Final Trump Card is an interesting one that hasn't had a lot of buffs. Space Traveling Warriors, and then Planetary Destruction. When was the last time we got a Planetary Destruction leader? So I feel like Planetary Destruction absolutely could be one of TURLES' leads. And then when we look at his links, one big thing about TURLES is we have this link, Destroyer of the Universe, which is unique to TURLES units, right? And at link level 10, this link is 25% attack and 15% defense. So this is actually a very, very strong link. It just is only between like TURLES units, which I don't think even his, let me bring up the thing here, I don't think even his minions have this, which is not great. If they do have it, that would be good, but okay, they do. Okay, that's perfect, because one of the things I was going to say is his side banner unit. Now they could go the route of making it like a Goku. Does Goku use Kaioken in the TURLES movie? I'd have to rewatch it. Does he? So it could be a Goku, or like if it's not Kaioken, it'd be like a Spirit Bomb, Spirit Ball Goku. Or they'd do like a side banner Gohan maybe. But ideally what they need to do, right, because these Extreme units, we've talked about this a lot with these releases, especially like Super 17, when they bring out these Extreme units, or any unit really, but Super units kind of are helped by the fact that so many exist already, they need to bring out other stuff around them to give them significant buffs. So the perfect side banner unit for this guy is, they need to do what they did with Ginyu, and bring out his side banner unit, kind of like Tora was, right, for Bardock, where even though the unit is called Tora, obviously in the art and the super attack animation, it's actually all of Team Bardock. They need to make the side banner unit for this TURLES his group, right? Just call the unit, like, maybe they do pick one of these guys. I can't even remember what any of their names are. This guy called Almond, I think. Hey, to me, it's Mullet Guy, Robot Guy, Ballsack Guys, and then I think that guy is called Amond. I don't know. But literally, have the unit be called, say it is this guy. Probably this guy. I think this guy with the mullet is like the second in command. What is his actual name? Days. So the unit should be called Days brackets Crusher Core, right? Because that's what they're called, the TURLES Crusher Core. And they should be the side banner unit, where it's just the 5 of them together on a card. Obviously, having 5 units in a Join Forces card, you know, having the sprites up on the screen is not something they normally do. That's why I would think it would be like Tora. So it'd be this guy brackets Crusher Core, have these guys, because then they would be able to have the Link Destroyer of the Universe. Now, obviously, they wouldn't have big bad bosses, which is a shame, because obviously that would be very good for TURLES, but that means we'd be able to get a lot of these links active, right? They'd have Destroyer of the Universe, they wouldn't have Say and Warrior Race or Prepared for Battle, they'd have Thirst for Conquest and Brutal Beatdown and Fierce Battle, and then obviously you make them a support unit. And one of the things that Extreme needs, they need a unit like Yajirobe, where we're getting support maybe off rotation, or like Kid Goku, where if you pick up a certain amount of orbs, they get damage reduction. So the side banner unit, I think, absolutely needs to be the Crusher Core. So one great thing about TURLES' design, which I hope the new one does as well, is TURLES is one of my favourite blueprints for a unit that is a leader of a team, which is that he is a support unit. So ever since he first released, if you didn't want to run him on main rotation, you could just float him and he would be supporting the entire team, so he would be really good. So hopefully the new TURLES also does that, right? Supports. He could have a heal with eating the fruit, maybe as his active skill or something. So there's a lot of great options. Obviously looking forward to seeing what those animations and everything are going to be. I'm assuming if that thing is today, we might see the details or the animations as early as tomorrow, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So in terms of leader skill, I made a couple of mentions already. I skipped out the ones that I think would be either like that we've already got too many of, right? So in terms of what I would like to see, movie bosses as one of his leader skills could be pretty good, because like Cooler obviously has movie bosses as one of his 170s, but he's almost a year old, right? And he's an LR, like you don't always necessarily want to run double of him. He's still good, right? But I feel like he's a unit that could massively benefit from you just run one on the team with like a really good slot 1 unit next to him, and then your other rotation is something different. So movie bosses could be pretty good, or I could see movie bosses being part of his, you know, maybe his plus 30%, but that does obviously narrow it down a little bit more. And then I did mention obviously Final Trump Card. Now Final Trump Card is a team that is very super heavy, but I could see this being like one of his 170s, right? I think if it was his plus 30%, that wouldn't be as good, because obviously there's very few units that are on here. But if he had something and Final Trump Card 170 and then plus 30. Plus remember, units can have more than 2 categories, right? So he could have 3 categories as his 170 and one of them be Final Trump Card, because the extreme side of it is so small. But then of course Piccolo Jr. is on there, so getting a team that he's on would be actually really, really good. In fact, could we get a 200% that he would be on? Because yeah, I mean, Terrifying Conquerors, we've got many extreme units that have Terrifying Conquerors as part of their leader skill, including this Piccolo himself, but that would be quite interesting. And then Planetary Destruction is the other one I mentioned. Like, this team hasn't had a lead, right? Broly came out as the original lead, and then LR Golden Frieza came out as a yellow coin LR, so he only has like, was it 150 lead for this team. So having this as one of the 170s would be pretty good. Again, I don't think the category's really big enough for it to be good as the plus 30%, but I think that would be pretty cool if that was one of his leader skills, right? Planetary Destruction. So the other thing that will be very interesting is what we get alongside him for this celebration. Obviously, I talked about the side banner unit a little bit, but when we take a look at some of these other TURLES units that are in his vicinity, right, we got to think about units related to the headliner as the units that could easy A, right? So a big one is this Int TURLES. This Int TURLES, look at this. Look at this date. Look at the dates on here. This man is almost 7 years old on JP. So this guy getting an easy A would be pretty cool, because he's always, like, TURLES units have a habit of being support units, right? So he's key 3 and 20% attack for all allies when HP is 50% or above, and that's it, that's his whole passive. So make him a good support unit, throw in some decent like abilities. Obviously his super attack, he's got a chance to stun, and that's basically it. So he's just very old and not very good, so give him an easy A for sure. Another one that I think would be quite interesting is Great Ape TURLES, because remember when those 3 giant ape units got their global first easy A's, the Vegeta, Raditz and Kid Goku, they were actually pretty decent at the time they got their easy A's. So this guy getting an easy A would be pretty cool, especially with how giant forms work at the moment with the whole cancelling out super attacks and stuff like that. Plus, this is another unit that has Destroyer of the Universe, you know, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses. So this guy would getting an easy A, I think, would be very, very good as well. And then, of course, the big one that we'd all be hoping for, my favourite yellow coin LR for a very long time after he released, and that is the Team TURLES, because obviously this guy has Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Destroyer of the Universe. So imagine if the side banner unit is these guys, and they have these links like Destroyer of the Universe, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown. So then you're running like this guy with an easy A, this side banner unit that's giving a ton of support, and then like the new TURLES who's, you know, potentially a top 5 TUR. I mean, I would hope that when he releases, he's at least a top 5 TUR, right? We don't want to see another STR Super 17 situation. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you hyped for a new TURLES? Shout out to Thad. I'm sure they've been waiting for this day, but I am actually very excited. Like, I think TURLES, even though it is kind of lame, I guess, I don't know why this decision was made back when he was first ever created, that he is just Goku, because isn't it just in his movie they make the weird excuse that like all low class warriors look the same, but then they almost like immediately change that later because none of the other low class warriors all look like that except for Bardock. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. I'm actually pretty excited about this. Hopefully he's good, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.